Right now, on to the point. Building a tunnel under the Delta, the controversial multi-billion-dollar plan with another lawsuit today. Following a To The Point exclusive, tonight a mother shares her demands after a student used racial slurs against her son at a high school wrestling match. Addressing retail theft, the new unit investigating cases in our region. And New Hampshire voters head to the polls tonight, where Nikki Haley and Donald Trump stand.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for To The Point. I'm Alex Bell, and we have a lot of news to get to tonight, including the results coming in right now from the New Hampshire primary. Donald Trump just declared the winner. But first tonight, another delay in the process to build a tunnel to transport water under the Delta. Tonight, our Jeannie Nguyen breaks down what this newest lawsuit is all about.
The plan to build a tunnel or tunnels under the Delta has been controversial for decades. And just last month, the state's Department of Water Resources released a new environmental impact report acknowledging the significant impacts the project would have on the environment. In response, the group Restore the Delta filed a lawsuit.
We have partnered with other nonprofits and tribes that work on water advocacy in the Delta in filing a lawsuit against a CEQA lawsuit against the Department of Water Resources.
The current Delta Conveyance Project plan would put one tunnel under hundreds of miles of the Delta to allow for water to be transported across the state. But for many groups, they believe this project would hurt communities and wildlife more than benefiting them.
It falls short in analyzing the impacts that environmental justice communities and Delta communities will experience. It also fails to fully analyze the impacts that threatened and endangered species will experience in the Delta.
DWR provided a statement saying, in part, lawsuits like these are expected. The environmental impact report is thorough, responds to public comments, and in many cases meets and exceeds the California Environmental Quality Act requirements.
We urge the State Water Board to implement and update the Bay Delta plan that's long overdue.
Now, the process for building a tunnel is far from over. It's estimated to cost about $16 billion and could take 20 years. So this lawsuit, along with the drag out for the process for about another more year. All right, and this is the latest map of where the tunnel would be built. There would be water intake spots just south of Clarksburg, and the underground tunnel would run all the way down the California Aqueduct near Tracy and Mountain House. And we've taken a closer look at this project in our Weather Team series, Water Wasted. You can find it right now on the ABC 10 Plus streaming app. New tonight, complications in the trial of a man accused of opening fire and killing a waitress in the middle of a Roseville restaurant. 51-year-old Johnny Jordan was expected to appear in court today for what's called a trial conference, but instead he was arraigned on charges that he attacked a corrections officer. So our Roxanne Elias is live at the Placer County Courthouse tonight. Roxanne, what exactly happened during his court appearance today?
Well, Alex, not very much. It was a short-lived visit here at the courthouse as Johnny Jordan pleaded not guilty, to those charges after being accused of attacking a correctional officer this Saturday. Now, that charge is considered a felony. Detectives tell us that over the weekend, Jordan assaulted a correctional officer at the Placer County Jail. He is an inmate there as he awaits trial for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Vita Joga. Roseville police say in 2021, Jordan walked into the house of Oliver and murdered Joga, who was a longtime waitress at the restaurant. Now, as he faces new charges, Joga's family is forced to wait even longer to see justice. They say they want to see Jordan punished for, quote, what he's done and for him not to hurt anyone in the future, end quote. Now, we did reach out to the Placer County Sheriff's Office, who tells us that that officer has some type of bruising on his face, but he is at work and he is doing okay. As for Jordan, he is expected to be back here in the courthouse on Tuesday at 8 in the morning. Alex.
All right, Roxanne, thank you so much. And tonight we are hearing more from the mother of a high school student who had racial slurs directed towards him while at a wrestling match. Our Jeannie Nguyen spoke with Omarion and his mother yesterday. Video of the incident surfaced from the match at Roseville High School last Thursday. And in the video, a group of students were seen and heard making very inappropriate noises and racial slurs towards 16-year-old Omarion. Tonight, his mother has a list of demands for school officials.
I demand that it be thorough and unbiased into the incident conducted by a third party to ensure impartiality. The findings of this investigation I would also like to be made public, continue to maintain transparency and accountability. This will help the community understand the extent of the issue and the steps taken to address it.
And she is also demanding the school implement anti-racist training. Roseville Joint Union High School District sent us a statement saying that they are investigating the incident and apologized to the family for the offensive comments. And Mercedes tells us that she hopes the district will take a more aggressive approach to expulsion. But Omarion, however, believes that kindness will always win, even for those that hurt him. So if you do want to watch Jeannie's full story with Omarion and his mother, Mercedes, you can find it right now on abc10.com/tothepoint. All right, take a look at this. This is an image that has been going viral online after investigators say a woman stole 65 Stanley Cups. Yeah, you're seeing it right here. The 23-year-old woman from Sacramento is facing felony grand theft. The cups are valued at nearly $2,500. And retail theft has become a major issue in California. Tonight, more local resources are being thrown at the problem. The Sacramento District Attorney, along with local law enforcement agencies, just announced a new organized retail theft prosecution unit. The unit has a full-time investigator and prosecutor who will work these crimes.
Will handle the case from beginning to end, collaborating with our law enforcement partners in the investigation process, our business community, all the way through the prosecution and the conviction of the case.
Since launching 2 months ago, the DA's office says the unit has filed 35 cases. The Sacramento police chief says their department plans to open a new tip line for their organized retail theft team. And it comes as lawmakers are trying to pass a bill that would increase penalties for repeat offenders. AB 1772 was introduced by Assemblymember James Ramos.
We need to do something to start to hold people accountable for their actions, especially if it's their third time or fourth time being convicted of retail theft.
Now, the bill would require jail time for repeat offenders. Along with this bill, lawmakers have also proposed changes to Prop 47. And Assemblymember Ramos has requested the state auditor to review its effectiveness. That report is due later this year. But keep in mind, even if AB 1772 was approved and signed by the governor, it does still have to go to voters. All right, next on To The Point, a massive rogue wave slams into a military base. Why it happened.
We're tracking our next weather system in this line that we've been dealing with all week. What kind of rain and snow totals we're going to see from this?
And the results coming down right now from the New Hampshire primary, where Nikki Haley and Donald Trump stand. Plus, some voters report getting robocalls from President Biden. Our Verified team looks at how you can identify when AI is being used. Take a look at this dramatic video at a U.S. military base on a remote island in the Pacific. A massive rogue wave ripped the doors from the hinges. People inside this building climbed on tables. I mean, they are clinging to anything they could reach. Moments later, a second wave rushes in, knocking out the windows, and thankfully, only minor injuries were reported. The U.S. Army says at least 1/3 of the base was flooded, and experts say these kind of waves are caused by weather systems, tides, and coastal landscapes. Monica was jumping at this. That's terrifying.
Well, we've seen this also hit ships, out to sea, even some of the cruise ships as well. There's super dangerous, and obviously a lot of research going into how to predict those and kind of prepare people for them as well.
Well, speaking of preparing, we have rain and snow coming tonight.
Exactly. We are tracking our next weather system, kind of a lineup that we've been dealing with throughout the week. This is our second one due in midweek, as you can see right now, affecting parts of the northwest coast. The main band of rain will move through overnight tonight through early tomorrow. So if you're out for that evening walk, it's still going to be dry. Temperatures are going to hold in the 50s. A rather mild evening for us with our forecast low at 49 degrees. That will be above that average low of 40. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:18, but at that point we will be starting off with rain, light rain and snow actually throughout the day. Thursday, we're back to the dry weather with morning fog. Friday and Saturday, both days just a slight chance of a light shower. The midweek storm's going to deliver roughly about 3/10 of an inch of rain for us down low, close to about a half an inch of rain for the foothills. And as far as snow, 1 to 6 inches, possibly up to about 8 inches for the higher elevations, with our snow line generally starting to move up the hill throughout the afternoon. We'll start off with areas of rain developing overnight tonight at about midnight. Morning commute, we're going to be dealing with on and off showers for the valley. Snow for the Sierra, and then things will be hit and miss throughout the rest of the afternoon. So not a complete washout of the day. It's just one of those days. Keep the umbrella handy and be prepared to kind of dodge some raindrops here and there, with a likely wetter outlook shaping up for the 8 to 14 day outlook. As you can see, for the next 5 days, for the mountains, the foothills, and the coast, we're going to see on and off showers right through our weekend forecast. Our 10-day outlook calls for areas of rain tomorrow, hit and miss showers Friday and Saturday, and then we get a break, but not for long, because the middle of next week looking wet again.
All right, Monica, thank you. All right, we need to take a short break, but coming up next on To The Point, the results are in for the New Hampshire primary, and today marks 1 year since the deadly Half Moon Bay shooting. The alleged shooter back in court, the charges that he's facing. Now to the New Hampshire primary. Donald Trump and Nikki Haley went head-to-head tonight, and tonight Trump is the projected winner. Morgan Norwood is in New Hampshire with the latest.
Voters in the first in the nation primary in New Hampshire have spoken. ABC News projects former President Donald Trump to win the primary. New Hampshire voters started at midnight, all 6 voters of the tiny town of Dixville Knox, picking Nikki Haley. And throughout the day, the enthusiasm for the consequential election grew.
I'm saying get out and vote. This is important.
Donald Trump dominated in New Hampshire, maintaining double-digit leads at one point in the polls over Nikki Haley, scooping up support from former rivals who each ended their own campaigns before backing him.
We need Donald Trump. America needs Donald Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump.
If you want 4 more years of Donald Trump, let me hear you scream.
Trump with a machine of support, but Haley put a lot of muscle into her own campaign, crisscrossing the state for 41 days compared to Trump's 15. And win or lose, vowed to stay in the showdown against her former boss.
So I'm running against Donald Trump, and I'm not going to talk about an obituary just because y'all think we have to talk about it. I'm going to talk about running the tape and saving this country.
All right, and Nikki Haley has previously said that she would stay in the race until Super Tuesday. It's not yet clear what her plans are at this point. And leading up to today's primary, some people reported receiving calls from what sounded like President Biden. The Attorney General says those calls were found to be illegal attempts to disrupt and suppress voting. And for more context, our Verify team looks in to show you how to spot artificial intelligence in phone calls.
In the lead up to the New Hampshire primary election, NBC News and other outlets reported that some people in the state received a robocall from a voice that sounded a lot like President Joe Biden.
It's important that you save your vote for the November election.
On the call, it sounds like the president is urging voters not to vote in Tuesday's primary.
Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again.
But White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden didn't make those calls.
That call was indeed fake and not recorded by the president.
This faked robocall is one of the most notable examples of artificial intelligence being used to influence voters, and it's not likely to be the last. So, using these sources, here are a few things to listen to help you determine if an election-related call you receive is real or not. Tip 1. Listen for breaths. A real person takes breaths when they talk. and makes noise. No audible breaths means you're probably dealing with AI. Tip 2. Is the person's speech cadence off? Are they talking monotone or emphasizing odd words? If it sounds unnatural, that's another red flag. Tip 3. Check more sources. If President Biden were informing his base not to vote, chances are he's going to send that message out on multiple platforms. As for the authenticity of this robocall,
what a bunch of malarkey.
If you receive election-related correspondence that you're unsure about or suspect may have been created using AI, contact Verify. Email us at questions@verifythis.com or send us a text to 202-410-8808. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
Today marks 1 year since the deadly shooting at Mushroom Farms in Half Moon Bay. 7 people were killed, and it is the largest mass shooting ever in San Mateo County. Investigators say the accused gunman had an argument with a coworker before the rampage started. Authorities say he opened fire, killing 4 people and injuring a 5th person. He then drove to the nearby Concord Farms, where he previously worked, and killed another 3 people. Today, community members, city officials, and nonprofits came together to honor those who lost their lives. And one of the survivors, Pedro Romero Perez, spoke to the group, reflecting back on his leaving his house unaware of the tragedy that was just hours from happening, getting very emotional. And Pedro said that he was sad and repeated that his brother Jose is no longer with us. And just this week, the accused shooter was indicted by a grand jury for 7 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. This is video from when he appeared in court last year. Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom this time, and he is expected back in court next month for his arraignment. In your price points tonight, another major insurance company has announced it will no longer issue new policies in the state of California. The Hartford made the announcement today, quoting the need to protect the long-term viability of their program and better service existing policyholders. They say this will impact homeowners and all other personal property coverage forms like renters, condo, and dwelling fire. This will take effect February 1st, and those who already have insurance coverage by the company will not be impacted. All right, an update to a story that we brought you yesterday. The California State University system has reached a tentative deal with the California Faculty Association. Part of the deal includes a 5% general salary increase for all faculty that will go back to July of last year. And it also includes another 5% raise for July 1st of this year, along with increases to paid parent leave and more gender-inclusive restrooms. And today we got our first glimpse at what riding on California's high-speed rail could look like. Take a look at this. We got a tour of a life-size 3D design of a high-speed train car. And no, the final design will not be whitewashed like this. This is just a mock-up. The California High-Speed Rail Authority says they took ideas from rail systems in Europe and Asia. And we know this project has long been in the works. A spokesperson says that they are on track to open their Central Valley corridor between 2030 and 2033. That will connect Bakersfield, Fresno, and Merced.
I think this is a very cool opportunity for people to see these trains are coming together in this state. I mean, high-speed rail is happening. We're under construction on 119 miles in the Central Valley, and we are moving from construction to operations, and that's just very exciting.
The California High-Speed Rail Authority will accept bids to create the train cars later this year, and they are still accepting feedback on these train car designs. You can actually weigh in on their social media post if you want to share some thoughts. All right, next on To The Point, the Oscar nominations. We break down the nominees and the noteworthy snubs. Oscar season is here, and the nominees were just announced. ABC 10's Mark S. Allen has a wrap-up of the honors and the snubs.
Yeah, that's right. The dust hasn't even settled on the Academy Award nominations this morning, and still we're talking about Oppenheimer versus Barbie. Of course, here in Sacramento, all eyes are on Barbie, directed by and co-written by the pride and joy of St. Francis High School, Greta Gerwig. I'll start with the winner. The leading of the charge was obviously Oppenheimer, 13 nominations in all. I'll go ahead and lay down my predictions. I think Christopher Nolan's going to take it for Best Director, and Cillian Murphy is still the one to beat for Best Actor. Now over to Barbie. 8 nominations in all. The surprise good news about this, America Ferrera. Remember that speech? And you probably saw that and said, Now that's a great movie. When she was making that speech, it also led to a great performance, led to a nomination, America Ferrera, Best Supporting Actress nominee for Barbie. 8 nominations in all. Now, 2 weeks ago, you probably hadn't even heard about Poor Things. It came out of nowhere with 11 nominations in all. Emma Stone is the one to beat for Best Actress. All right, back to Barbie. How on earth was Margot Robbie not nominated for Best Actress? It is probably, arguably, one of the most popular movies this century, yet nothing. Rob. So let's talk about those snubs. She was snubbed. I also think the entire movie Color Purple was snubbed. Many arguing it came out a little bit too late to pick up steam. Regardless, it should have been nominated. Bradley Cooper should have been nominated for Best Director for Maestro. He was not. And again, back to Greta Gerwig not being nominated for the Oscars. Much to talk about that. Want to hear my really angry rant about that? Follow me on Facebook. It's Mark S. Allen Show. For a complete list of all of the Oscars, go to abc10.com, and obviously March 10th, right here, we will be on the red carpet before, during, and after the Oscars. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Make sure you send us an email at tothepoint@abc10.com. We always love to know what's going on in your community, so reach out to us. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.